HPD, shame on you. HPD, do your job. HPD, shame on you. HPD, do your job. De Blasio, we are here 5 days. Where are you? Shame on you, De Blasio. That guy always don't care the people. New York City people. We are people. We have a right. We don't have home can go because the landlord burn us out. 5 days. 5 days. We are here hunger strike. Who cares? HPD don't care. De Blasio don't care. Right? Yeah.
Hey guys, this is day 5 of the hunger strike. And we're here because the very building behind you is complicit in putting out these people in the cold. They give no commitment whatsoever. It's been 5 days, and the tenants have had to contend with rain, cold weather, hunger, and still, the city is not moved by this.
So the hunger strike, 5 days. HPD hasn't been doing its job in the past 2 years when they know full well that the landlord is harassing them. The landlord refused to repair. The landlord intentionally keep the building under disrepair. And even though the tenant got a court order that the landlord should fix the building within 60 days, the landlord did nothing. And HPD did nothing to hold the landlord accountable. And that's what we see, the city has been doing. Whose side the city is on is very clear. Because when on January 18th, the landlord colluded with city agencies to issue a vacate order, and then in 2 hours, all the tenants got kicked out. 2 hours. Remember that. 2 years and 2 hours. After that, they have been homeless. They live in a hotel. It's not their home. After all, they want to go back home. Just as simple as that, they want to go back home. But even that simple request, the city can't even fulfill. So, and the HPD hasn't been responsible. HPD has trying to ignore, trying to avoid responsibility. HPD is under the leadership of Mayor de Blasio, who we know very well, doesn't care about working people. You want to kick out the working people out of their community. You want to destroy the community for the rich people, for the developers, for slumlords like Joseph Batash to make more money, to profit from it. So it's not surprising, but it is outrageous. It is, again, another example, countless example, among countless cases where family got kicked out this way or other ways, and they're never able to go back again. But the Bowery tenants, because of their strong organizing, they decided to fight back. They decided a long time ago that not only win the court case, but to stay in the community, to protect the community. So that's why they're so strong, and that's why even after being discouraged again and again, they are still able to come to stick together and take further action. And they see that they've lost their home, so nothing they can lose. So that's why 5 days ago they started a hunger strike under this cold weather. It is ridiculous, in New York City you have to do a hunger strike to go back home. It is unbelievable, but it is happening here. So during the hunger strike, the tenants got the attention from the mayor's office, finally. And at the same time, the lawyers doing courts already, they figure out the end dates. Because after they got kicked out, the city say 2 weeks. 2 weeks the building should be fixed and they go back home. But then after 2 weeks, it became 2 months. So why? Okay, so first 2 weeks, now 2 months, then what's next? The people have no faith in the city because they can't even keep their promise. So that's why when the mayor's office came in, they asked the mayor very simply, give us a date, give us a promise of a date that they can go back home. Just a date, as simple as that. A date on paper, in writing, set the record straight. If you're mayor for the people, then this simple task you can accomplish. But what happened in the second day of hunger strike angered everyone when mayor's representatives show up, hand them a letter, a very short letter, only in Chinese. So they do it in a very sneaky way. And what's on the letter is a very empty statement, saying that we're concerned about you. The landlord is doing his job to fix the building. We are working very hard to make sure the safety, the repair, and as long as the building got fixed, we'll get you back home. As simple as that. 7 lines. They can type it in 2 minutes, but they wait for the second day to come up with this one very empty statement. Nothing concrete, nothing substantial on the letter. The tenant was angry because what they asked for, the one simple date, is not on it. That's what they're asking for, and that's what the mayor's office originally verbally agreed that they will figure it out. They will put the date on it, but they didn't. This is one outrageous example. The mayor doesn't do what he promised. So after that, the tenants decided to continue the hunger strike. So over the weekend, they sat in the rain, in the cold. You remember, right? Yesterday was pouring. Saturday, very cold. So, but they persist because what they asked for is to just, to go back home. So after that, the mayor's office say, okay, we're gonna, try to work on it. Probably another letter, but it is almost New Year, as you might know, Chinese New Year, which is this Friday. But in the Chinese tradition, even before the Chinese New Year, people have a lot to do. They need to clean their house. They need to, call their relatives. A lot of work. So it is really, really ironic that, they're gonna spend their New Year's without a home. It is a sad reality. And all of this is due to the inaction and the collusion of the city agencies with the landlord. This is a shame. This is a shame, New York City. This is a shame. Shame on you, New York City. Shame on you, de Blasio.
Shame on you.
Shame on you, de Blasio.
Shame.
Shame on you, de Blasio. Shame on you, de Blasio. Over this weekend, we have seen an outpour of support from people across the city, from people of different communities. They show their support, they donate whatever they can. They stand together with the tenants, they help out in any way. We had a support rally on Saturday, and we had a candlelight vigil yesterday. The weather was very bad, but it was great turnouts. We saw a lot of people came out despite of the rain, despite of the bad weather. Because they know, people know that it's not only their case. It is a citywide problem. It is a problem in every community across the city. They're the one taking the lead to fight against this tide of displacement. So people see, people being inspired by them, so they show up. They talk about their problems. They talk about the similarity they experience with the landlords, with the city agencies, and the nonsense that the government put out, the city government put out. So at the end of the day, we see that what we are able to win about, from this hunger strike is the people. People come out, people united, and people see beyond the one building, one community. This is the greatest achievement of this hunger strike. So now I want to say a few words in Chinese, and then I'll ask Vincent Cao, the tenant representative, to say a few words. 就是说呢，我刚才就说了，这个简单的说了一下这个这几天绝食这几天的这个经过。我们也看到了这个市府的这个回应，让我们非常的生气。但同时我们也感到非常的鼓舞，因为有很多的人，很多的支持者，这个周末都出来了，尽管那个天气是那么的恶劣，又下雨又冷，很多支持者还是这样出来了支持我们的住客。因为大家都看到，这个不仅仅只是一幢楼，或者是一个社区的问题。而是整个城市的问题，他们当然看到了这个联系这个问题的这个联系所以呢，这个是我觉得呢是这是绝食我们赢的我们最大的一个胜利，就是让大家都团结了起来，让大家都看到这个市府是这样子对待我们这个社区民众。那我们现在下面就有请下面有请曹景明8385住客代表说几句话。So let's welcome Vincent Cao. From the representative of 8385 Bowery Tenant Association.
We've been out there for 5 days. The 5 days is not easy. You see the very cold beginning, the raining, and a lot of friends, family, a lot of supporters show up. We really believe we have a chance to win. We are winning now, but we lost the faith from our government. For so many days, they don't, nobody see mayor or our official come to visit the tenants. We see a lot of real people here. And the statement from the city is really empty, and they also show like how they protect those landlords, how they collude, why they keep helping the landlord, not helping the tenants. They want mayor have representatives show up, but they cannot even give us the concrete date when we can go home. When they talk about 6 weeks, I think people saw the notice on the vacate order. At the beginning it's a 2 week. Later on becomes 6 weeks, 2 months. But now they even mention, even 2 months later, they still need fire department, DOB, HPD to do another inspection. Maybe landlord cracked the wall somewhere. They still need few months to repair. The tenant might never go home again. So that's why we need all of you. We need you to help out. Even March 28th, if we cannot go back, we're gonna come back here again. And you guys can come out. Even they put something on writing. They always put something on writing, but they never enforce. See, 2 weeks become 2 months. 2 months can become 2 years. But we need the people here. Make sure the government do their job.
Do your job!
New York City, do your job!
New York City!
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 Do your job!
So just like Vincent said, right? If the government cannot enforce it, the people will enforce it. So next, I want to ask a representative from the Democratic Socialists of America, an organization which have been in supporting the Bowery tenant struggle from the beginning. Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm from the New York chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. We have been standing with the tenants in solidarity since the Boycott Dr. J's campaign, since before they were evicted, since Joseph Batesh had been trying to evict them, because we believe that housing is a human right, that nobody should have to be put out onto the streets when we have millionaires and billionaires buying $50 million apartments from other countries that are just sitting empty because people are using our city as a tax haven to park their money. We have plenty of resources. We're in the richest country, in the richest city, in the richest country in the world, and we still make people sit out on the streets in a hunger strike to get back into their own homes. And this isn't right, and that is why we are here. But the most important thing, though, is that we are going to continue to fight. GSA is going to continue to stand in solidarity with the tenants. We must continue to put pressure on the mayor, put pressure on HPD to make those repairs, to get these tenants back into their homes as soon as possible. We were hoping that we would get these tenants back into their homes by Chinese New Year. Unfortunately, they've been out in the cold. It's been tough out here, and I'm much younger than these ladies, and it is hard just being out here to support them. And I have so much endless admiration and respect for these women who put their health and their bodies and their lives on the line to get back into their homes. And I think every activist should look at them for inspiration, because we need to stand up and fight back, and these women have shown us that they will not back down, that you cannot force us out, and we will not go away. We will fight back. But yes, we must continue. This is not the end. We are going to fight, and we're going to continue to hold the mayor accountable and make sure that we will get these tenants home.
欢迎一下，那他就是这个 DSA 的一个代表，那他们呢从这个杯格这个房东的这个那个服装店的时候就开始一直跟我们有合作，一直在帮助这个巴黎街住客一个那个请愿书要敦促这个市长给这个日期，给一个明确的日期，让这个巴黎街的住客能够回去。然后他还说了，这个你们大家也是一个非常好的一个启发，就对大家来说都是一个学习的榜样，也激发了很多这个人他也觉得这个全市的这个活动家，这些年轻人都应该出来向这些绝食的这个住客去学习。
So next we're going to have speakers from our citywide alliance from East Harlem, Marina and Roger.
I'm here in solidarity with the seniors and youth from 85 Bowery and the Coalition to Protect the Lower East Side at Chinatown. Today, February 12th, 2007, marks the anniversary of the closing of Our Lady Queen of Angels Roman Catholic Church in East Harlem. That is the same day that 5 senior Puerto Rican women who had never ever protested against anything in their lives took over the church and stayed overnight and were arrested because they protested the closing of their second home. To this day, every single Sunday afternoon, they do their own memorial service outside of the church, protesting the closure of their house of worship. And in Barrio, we are also fighting against the rezoning and gentrification that the mayor has imposed on us. We will not stand for the displacement of our seniors in their homes or their places of worship. We are fighting, and we are here in solidarity and are amazed and very moved by the work that you're doing down here, and to see youth and senior coming together in this way is incredible. It's incredibly sad and horrible, and I'm outraged. I'm really outraged that we have to do things like this to get decent and fair housing and to avoid displacing our seniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. My name is Roger Hernandez, and like Marina, I'm also from East Harlem, and we're here in solidarity, ladies and gentlemen, with these valiant seniors, people that mark really the dignity of each and every community here in New York City. To allow what's happening to these tenants, to this community, and to this city is a real disgrace. There's no reason why an administration that has thousands of employees that are responsible for the safeguard and the protection of tenants and tenants' rights cannot focus attention on this one particular building, which is receiving national attention. This one building can be multiplied by thousands of other buildings throughout the city that are not being protected by the enforcement of the laws that dictate a decent city. And this city is probably the model for every city in the universe. And it's not doing its job. This is a total disgrace. I just got back from Puerto Rico. Marina asked me to say a couple of words about that. and I am totally disgusted by what I saw happening over there. I think that when you put circumstances together that affect vulnerable people, you should expect valiant and proud dignity to come out and to make things better. And I've always seen that on the part of the people, and I've always noticed that it was lacking on the part of the administration and the political mouthpieces that make money off of this suffering and this pain. So again, I request that each and every one of us as friends and neighbors bring the message of this one example down in Chinatown, and to make this a real cause to see what kind of response we could get. Because quite personally, I don't expect much, and it's a big disappointment. But I'm here to fight for that, to see that something becomes of this, because it's the right thing to do. I'm a responsible citizen of this city, and I've worked on many different projects with many different people, and this is one of the worst examples I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think that something ought to be done about it, and I wish and I hope that each one of you would support this one example to make a terribly bad thing that's gone wrong much better for the people involved, and that is the people of the city of New York. Thank you.
好，刚才这位就是来自东哈林的2位，他们呢之前在这个市府示威的时候也一直有过来，他也参加我们这个全市反逼迁联盟。那他就说到了东哈林呢，这个也有一个问题，也有类似这种问题，比如说他之前有一些这个有个教堂啊被关了，然后有人要那些妇女要进去去那里去占领，来去拯救这个教堂。所以他看到了这个联系，在这里今天我们看到很多这个妇女这个绝食者在这里。然后呢，他也提到了这个市长的他的这个土改的这个计划，他的这个帮大地产商来摧毁这个社区。所以呢，他看到这个逼迁呢是一个这个制度的问题。这个逼迁呢是一个这个市府的这个政策，所以呢，这个他也非常的鼓舞，他也呼吁大家去一起去支持他们的这个行动。
So, during the Bloomberg administration, we saw how the city started to become rezoned, and since then, the de Blasio administration has exacerbated the problem. And things have only gotten worse. And we've seen how the homeless problem has gotten a lot worse. And this is just one of the many examples out here of how the city continues to collude with city agencies, evict people out of their homes. And it's shameful, and shame on de Blasio for even saying that this is a sanctuary city. For whom? For whom is this sanctuary city? That's what we need to ask de Blasio. That's how we need to come together and make sure that the city does their job.
Over the past few years, we have seen so many luxury high-rises coming up, right? So efficient, the city works so efficient in passing those pro-developers rezoning and get those developers do what they want. But when the tenants come out to demand a simple date, he can't even fulfill that. Is he really that incompetent? Or does he have no heart? Or both? It's so obvious whose side the mayor is on. Even this one simple request a date, he can't even fulfill. Think about it. Next, let's welcome David Wilkins from the Bowery Alliance of Neighbors, who is actually have always been in the planning committee for the tenants action in the past few weeks.
Hi. Within just the last 8 years, on one block of the Bowery, from Canal Street to Hester Street, there have been 3 major complete building displacements of tenants. In 2010, a hotel construction site at 93 Bowery so destabilized the 2 adjacent buildings that the city ordered those adjacent buildings torn down, and 60 people became displaced permanently. In 2013, at 81 Bowery, the entire building, like this, in the dead of winter, was displaced, forcibly removed. On the cold night of January 18 of this year, the entire building at 85 Bowery was mass evicted on a very cold night with no fair warning. The city's justification for doing that was a faulty staircase. Since the Housing Preservation and Development Department and the Department of Buildings knew about 85 Bowery's staircase for the past 2 years, why carry out the sudden, unannounced, and traumatizing displacement in the dead of winter? If the landlord ignored a mandate to fix the building 2 years ago and failed to carry out the recent order to fix this staircase within 2 weeks, why is he not being prosecuted? Why are the tenants the ones that are being punished in such a brutal manner? HPD should fix this problem. It should step in, fix the staircase, and return the tenants to their homes and bill the landlord for the work. If it doesn't take long for elected officials to cash the checks that they get from big real estate, certainly we can expect that they would be able to fix this problem in a very short space of time. Thank you.
他是来自那个包里街联盟的，那他呢就主要就说，你看看这个市府啊，这样子是在帮谁呀？看包里街那么多这种类似的情况都发生了啊，为什么就不让你为什么不让这个房东负责？现在到这个顾客啊，出来受贿。So, we have seen like many times, two sides on the side we have Blasio on. And we also have supporters also, coming in and show solidarity.
I'm always in Florida. Get up.
De Florida para el frío.
From Florida.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Es un verdadero gusto para mí poder estar con ustedes en solidaridad con el grupo de compañeros haciendo la huelga de hambre.
My name is Evicted, and obviously I'm going to be interpreting for Oscar. I work with the ally organization, the Alliance for Fair Food, alongside the Coalition of Elected Workers.
Y estamos aquí porque sabemos que la explotación, porque sabemos que las injusticias están pasando en cualquier lugar y en cualquier parte del mundo.
And we're here because we know that injustices and exploitation are happening all around the world at any given time.
Trabajadores agrícolas por muchas décadas hemos venido enfrentando los malos salarios, las malas condiciones, las condiciones de abuso verbal, las condiciones de esclavitud y en los casos también difíciles como es lo que es hoy en día, muy hablado en todos los medios, en toda parte del país, lo que es el acoso sexual.
Farm workers in the agricultural industry have been facing all types of abuses ranging from wage theft to inadequate wages to physical violence and in the worst cases of modern day slavery. And right now we're focusing on one of the primary abuses that we face, which is sexual violence in the agricultural industry.
Y estamos aquí en solidaridad con nuestros hermanos quienes han sido desplazados de sus viviendas.
And we're here today to be in solidarity with our compañeros who were displaced from their homes and from their lives.
Las injusticias o las malas decisiones que toman la gente que tiene el poder. Nosotros como seres humanos, nosotros como somos la minoría, tenemos que mostrar de que nosotros como comunidad estamos unidos, no importa de dónde somos, no importa de dónde venimos, no importa en qué creemos. La solidaridad la tenemos que mostrar entre todos nosotros los que sufrimos los abusos de parte de la gente que cree que tiene el poder.
And when we see that the people that have the power and take unjust actions, as we're seeing today, we need to show us, the people, us, the minority, we need to show them that truly the power lies in us to change the abuses, to change the injustices, and correct what has been wrong.
No importa el sacrificio que uno hace, no importa el sacrificio que hagamos todo para poder mostrarles que la comunidad, que la gente está unida para lograr un cambio.
And it doesn't matter what action you take, it doesn't matter what sacrifice you make, you have to show that as a community together, it doesn't matter from what background, from what creed, from what race, that we stand together to support one another.
Y sabemos que la huelga de hambre tiene un significado mucho más grande para estas corporaciones quienes no quieren escuchar la voz de la gente.
And we know that hunger strikes have a significant power for those people in power that make those decisions.
Y hoy, junto con nosotros, como aliados, como gente de conciencia, vamos a decir que que estas personas necesitan llegar a un diálogo.
And today, all of us together, with our consciousness raised about this situation, together we need to call on these people to have a dialogue with these folks who've been affected and who have faced injustice.
Como miembros de la comunidad de Immokalee, en la Florida, estamos en solidaridad con nuestros hermanos, quienes están sufriendo este desplazamiento de parte del gobierno, de parte de las corporaciones, de parte de la gente, que sigue aprovechándose de la mano de obra de los trabajadores y de la gente.
And we as member of the working community in Immokalee want to show that we're here to stand together with these folks, these brothers and sisters of ours who are facing injustice from corporations, from governments, by greed, because of greed, and to know that we're not going to go until things are made right.
Nosotros como trabajadores agrícolas lo sabemos de primera mano. Nosotros tenemos una campaña que se llama Campaña por Comida Justa. Estamos también boicoteando a la corporación de Wendy's, quien es una de las corporaciones que aún no se junta a ser parte del programa por comida justa.
And we as agricultural workers know this firsthand. We as well also have a campaign waged against a corporation that continues to purchase from places where abuse, where sexual violence, physical violence, and slavery conditions run rampant.
Y si en alguna oportunidad tienen la oportunidad, les invitamos a ser parte también en nuestras campañas que estamos haciendo. El próximo mes, el 15 de marzo, estamos organizando una gran marcha que pasará aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York y después de hablar vamos a compartir algunos volantes.
And so, just as this struggle is going on, and we will be here to support in whatever way that we can, coming out to as many of these actions as possible, we also have a campaign as well. March 11th through the 15th, we're also going to be calling a 5-day fast against Wendy's to make sure that they join and start respecting basic human rights. And we'll be giving some flyers out. But once again, we'll be here to support as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you for standing in solidarity. Now we have a few words from Yulene's office.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ting Ting. I'm from the Assembly Member Yulene News office. I am here to represent the Assembly Member because she is currently in Albany for session. Unfortunately, she's not able to be here to voice these concerns for the tenants, but we just want to say that we will continue to push for the city and the landlord to make these constructions happen on time. And we also actually have a letter to the AG and the DA's office asking them to do an investigation on the landlord. And in response of this letter, the DA office actually told us that they are looking into an investigation and we should be hearing a response back soon. We will continue to work with the AG and the DA's office and all the elected officials to work together to continue to push for these tenants. And I will say this in Chinese. 大家好，我是婷婷，我是众议员牛玉玲的办公室来的。那相信大家都已经很熟悉我的面孔。那这次我是来代表我们的众议员，因为他现在正在 Albany 在开会。那我们还是想要说的就是，我们会继续的为我们的住客发声，为跟我们的市政府还有我们的这个屋主来要求他们更快更安全的完成这个装修。那我们其实有一封信是写给我们的市检察官，还有检察办公室。地区检察官，谢谢文总，来要求他来检查我们这个屋主。那这封信发出去之后呢，我们的 DA 就是我们的地区检察官，他给我们有个回复说他们已经在正在进行处理这件事情。那我们应该会有一个很快的回复，所以我们也会继续的跟这两个办公室来合作，来为我们的住客们发声。谢谢大家。
So the city has, the HPD and all that. They actually admit that they did wrong. The city of New York, they, of course not publicly, but they say, it's not perfect. HPD not perfect, whatever. Well, they admit they're wrong, but what should they do? They should right their wrong, right? Yeah. So that's one thing that they can do. Prosecute the landlord. Right? Prosecute Joseph Batesh. This is criminal, Joseph Batesh. What he's doing is criminal. The city should at least do that, right? Yeah. And also give the dates to the tenants for when they can go back home, right? Yeah. So here comes the important moment. Vincent, you're gonna take over? Yes. Everyone, please stand around the hunger strikers, because now they're gonna announce an end to a hunger strike. This is a very important moment. Everyone, please stand around the hunger strikers as they're gonna announce an end to the hunger strike. Let's welcome these hunger strikers. They've been sitting here for 5 days in the cold, in the rain. Let's welcome them. You're all welcome to come closer.
We should have a voice. We are people. We are New York City. We should fight again, right? 什么叫我们要争取？Take a big picture, right?
包里街83号、85号这些租客的支持。
Thank you everybody to support the tenant to fight.
从上周4到今天，4、5、6日1，这么多天了。各位媒体们，个人们，机构们一直在跟随着我们，每一分每一秒，我们都受到大家的关注，非常感谢。
Has been since last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday now. So a lot of you, including the media, individual organizations, really care about the tenants here, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
我们83号、85号每一个人，我们是一个团队，我们是一个团体，我们不会被 HPD、DOB、纽约政府这么欺负。我们是中国人，我们要捍卫我们的权利。
So we are not just individual. We have a lot of tenants together, 83, 85, we're all together as a group. So we're not afraid of HPD, DOB, even city government. We will fight for our right.
我们每一个人都是良好市民，我们都在努力，都在工作，都在生活。我们希望我们的生活被任何人打搅。 我们会努力，我们要抗衡到底，我们回家，我们一定要回家。
So we are the people. We are working. We fight very hard to continue to live in this city, and we not give up. We will fight to the end. Okay. So even now, we still don't have a clear date. But sounds like March 28 we can able to go back. If not, we will come back here again. We will fight to the end.
March 28!
March 28! March 28! March 28! March 28!
March 28! March 28! March 28! March 28! March 28!
我在本来我包了一个偶逼，我要3月28号回去。
I'm 70 years old. I live at 85 Bowery. I want to go back March 28.
She's a hunger striker. She's a hunger striker. 70 years old.
代表处，叫我85号的代表讲话。
等进去吧，等进去。
要回家，那个85那个产妇要回家。
We just want to go home. All of 85 tenants, we just want to go home.
Okay, other people sign up. I mean, we are going to keep in touch and make sure March 28th people can go back. If not, then we come back here. Okay? HPD, do your job! HPD, do your job! HPD, do your job! HPD, do your job! De Blasio, shame on you! De Blasio, shame on you! De Blasio, shame on you!
De Blasio,
shame on you!
De Blasio,
shame on you!
Okay.
So let's move back a little bit more so that everyone can get a wider shot. Yeah! 一起来，站起来！
Well, what we're doing like on each day, if you signed it already, it's fine. Okay.
我们斗争到底，是不是？一定要回家。
Yeah, of course. Yes, sometimes. And there's 2 people. And then I got people. The city should be ashamed of themselves.
Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! Hey, hey, go home! The Blasio got to go! 不要让白色
I think that concludes our event today. But if anyone wants to, join and see what's next and want to participate and want to get involved or help in any way, please sign up. Please look around you and see if you have the signing sheets.
I'm very glad they've broken the fast because even me, as a bystander, it was very difficult here in the cold. The mayor blinked. He gave him 2 out of 3 of their requests. So it's very important. I'm very glad they're so courageous because people are being roughed up everywhere. And they use it as a market economy as the excuse, but there's a bottom line under the bottom line, and that's human nature. So, thank you.
I think this is a situation against Joseph Batesh, who did this through harassment, and against a court order. He couldn't do it this way. He had a lawsuit against him saying that, yes, in fact, these apartments are rent stabilized. They are rent stabilized. So the next thing, well, that didn't work. Okay. So the next thing you know, all of a sudden in the middle of the night, they came and evicted everybody and saying that the stairway's unsafe. It's been unsafe for years. Who was supposed to fix it? All of a sudden, he's got a lawsuit against him that he lost. Isn't it interesting?
In the middle
Isn't that interesting?
Middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes.
Get what you have and go.